Yes.
All right,
Okay.
calling the meeting to order at 6:05 PM. We have all of our board members present plus Louise. And who do we have online? We have Rebecca and who else?
Take on.
And Takeo. All right.
Hi, Takeo.
Hi.
As far as the meeting agenda, I guess the only two that I need to add in, Shelby, are just the super generic meeting minutes for November 10th and November 21st.
Okay,
And I'll read them to the board
that's fine.
when we get to the
Right.
meeting minutes. So
Yeah.
I
I can
guess 3.5.
add an S and do minutes of previous board meetings.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any updates or changes to this agenda?
Yeah, under number 7, number 2, I'd like to add on talk about a trespass policy.
Okay.
A what? Trespass,
Trespassing.
Or-
Yeah, we trespass.
trespassing and untrespassing. If that makes sense.
Oh, where are you not trespassing? Where it's
When you
considered,
when they finish, when the trespass is over with.
oh, like those
when can they
girls
come
that
back?
beat up the girls. They can't ever.
After they go spend a year in Hagen, they can come back.
Volunteers, so it's-
We mature.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, I'll motion to approve the agenda with the changes on number 4 and number 7, adding the trespass.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll second.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the November 10th meeting. It was held at the conference room in the Columbia Title Company, 205 Northeast Boardman Avenue. Board members present were Krista, George, Norma, and John. Others present were District Council Amy Angel. Called the meeting to order at 12 PM. And adjourned the public meeting at 12:01 and moved into executive session under the ORS statute set forth in that November 10th agenda. Reconvene the public meeting at 12:41 PM. John moved, Norma seconded the motion, and we adjourned at 12:41. That will be entered into our meeting minutes, and then November 21st, I believe that was last week. We had all board members present, and that was at the main office of the Boardman Park and Rec. We had all board members present, District Council Amy Angel and outside council Joe Goldsmith. Called the meeting to order at 5 PM, adjourned the public meeting at 5:01, moved into executive session under the ORS statute set forth in the agenda. Reconvene the public meeting at 7:54. John moved, David seconded the motion, meeting adjourned to 7:54. You could pass that down to her as well. Thank you. And then
We need to vote on that, approve them.
we can do them all at
Okay.
once if you
Okay.
want. Since we just changed the plural on that. Does anybody have any questions or changes to the meeting minutes of October 25th?
Just on page 3 where Krista Price states, it just needs an S.
Oh, yeah, at the top.
Sorry,
Stated.
third, yeah. Or stated or whatever that was. Oh, yeah, stated about that, okay.
Stated, yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
Unless she's forming a
A
new state.
state. She's a state.
Got your own country now.
Yeah. I'll take a motion if anybody wants it. Otherwise, I'll hear any changes anybody wants.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented with the change on this. Our last meeting of, not the last meeting, would have been the October 25th meeting with the change. And then the other two meetings as well, November
Okay.
10th and November 21st.
Yep, and I do have the sealed executive session minutes. Obviously, there's a notation on there that they can only be opened at the request of council, and I've signed the backs of them. Okay, so if you can hand those down there as well. Do we have a second on this one?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Okay.
All opposed, same sign. Shelby, you're on. Oh, wait, hold on. When were we emailed these, the agenda?
Wednesday last week before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you guys would probably know this more than I would, because I've only been on this board. But I feel like we need that the board should be treated like a business entity in the such that we probably should have at least 5 days to review the agenda. So I know that may throw off your ability to report. I don't know, and I guess maybe that's what I need to ask you. Is that going to throw off anything as far as you being able to report your financials? If we want to be able to do our agenda and our board packet at least 5 business days, not including Saturday and Sunday. I want
The
a
only
Monday through
time
Friday
it would
kind of
throw
thing.
that off is during months where the fourth, like if the Tuesday falls on a first. And that fourth Tuesday ends up being around the 15th of the month, we don't necessarily have all the bills in.
Okay.
For the
Could we
previous
just
month
get
at that point.
agenda, the first page?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and then send the other stuff when you have it
It's the
ready.
whole packet.
It's the whole packet that's throwing me, because we had 57 pages to go through on this.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was not.
It was a really long.
Yeah,
one
I
this
mean,
time,
it's just not, we're not being given enough due diligence time to review our packet. And I personally feel the weekends are our weekends and that this is our job to do this board, but I feel like that's reserved for a Monday through Friday business day, and that we should be allotted at least 5 business days. Saturday being a business day, I should say, because the government even thinks that. So at least 5 business days before our meeting. So that'd be a Monday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So at least a Wednesday prior to the meeting. And then if there's holidays in there, we're gonna exclude those and provide it that much sooner.
Okay.
If you don't mind. If it throws us off, put a notation in there that it's gonna be different because of certain things. But I don't know, what is the board? Are you guys okay? Are you making it through these?
No, I'm not.
Because I'm not.
I'm not. I was trying to do it on the computer and on my phone, but that's when I asked her yesterday, and that's where I could see a little bit more clearly on here.
Right.
But
when they're
there's
printed
things
off.
that, yeah, we go through them so fast here at the meeting, so it's kind of, yeah, if we had more time at home to actually look at what some of the expenses were, actually, that would make a lot more sense.
Let's try it, see if we can make it happen.
Yeah.
I know obviously we don't meet again until January, but if we can try to give a little bit more time, it'd be helpful. And I know especially with, gosh, 3 of these people are with the school and they're putting in
What do you mean? I have so much on.
they're putting in longer hours than I am sometimes. So I think that's especially on the weekends. So I just think business days would be great, 5 at least. So I will let you go ahead with your treasury report.
Okay. So we did, to start off before we get into the treasury report, we did start getting our payments for our property taxes for this year.
Good.
This so far, I just checked to see if we've gotten one this week because they normally come in weekly. We haven't yet, but as of last week, we had received 606,704 is what we had received, and we budgeted based on what the assessor had sent us, 662,317.
Oh, okay,
What
good.
was the number that we got in?
We've gotten in 606, 606,704,
And what did they budget? We budgeted 616.
662,
662.
370.
Yeah, no, that's good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And
so-
more to come.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, well, it comes in monthly after this normally, so,
yeah, good.
yeah, so just wanted to throw that out there, that was something that was on there. Treasure report, so, Banner Bank operations for the rec center, 34,116.94. For the park, 40,550.33. We do have a Bank of EO loan payment that will be coming up at the end of December that we will have to make. That will be transferred, the funds for that will be transferred out of the rec center's LGIP into the debt service to cover that, per the budget. And then we also have a GL bond payment that we'll be making middle of December as well, for the 263,568.75. So I will need somebody to go down, at least 2 signers to go down to the bank and sign for that wire to be sent over.
Where does that 377, 322 come from? The rec center LGIP.
That is it's actually interest that has been earned off the property taxes that comes in.
Oh, good.
That's what that
Okay,
is.
so that's gonna end up making our Bank of EO pay off.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
was so confused. Like, how are we gonna pay that?
Yeah, that's what that's where that comes in. So.
Okay.
Any questions about any of that?
oh, wait, so our balance is actually 336. Next payment's only 120.
Yes, the balance is
Gotcha.
336. The next payment for the BEO loan is 120. We have 3 payments left
Gotcha,
and then we'll
gotcha.
be done.
Okay,
And then the next 3 pages after that is the amortization schedules for the GO bond, the boat dock loan and the Bank of EO loan.
will you make sure that Banner requires 2 signatures on that payment for me, okay?
Yeah.
That's where this. EO bond payment.
So the first statement of revenue and expenditures is for the organization. So total revenue at the bottom of page 8 for the organization for this year, second column, 587,414.13. And then if we skip over to page 10, middle column, bottom of the page, total expenditures is 657,947.60. That puts us at the end of October, we had a negative 70,533.47
At the end of October.
at the end of October. So
With
keep in mind,
no
this does not
money
include the
yet.
property taxes that we just brought in this month.
Okay. And that's just for 1 month.
That's for the year.
Oh,
That's for
okay.
this fiscal year.
Okay, so we're all right then.
Yeah, for the month, we actually made 5,000.
Right.
For the month of October.
Okay.
So. Are there any questions on that? If not, we will jump into the park. This is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the park only. Middle column, for this fiscal year, total revenue, 470,952.05. Bottom of page 12, total expenditures for the park, 407,774.40, gives us a total revenue of 63,177.65.
Okay, so on the expenditures for payroll, do
Yes.
we do the same thing on the expenditures for that first one you just did? Cause it says expenditures. And then it has the district manager, campground manager for both.
It's, yes, so this first one that we just did, it covers the park and the pool together.
Okay,
So it has all of that laid out, and that's on It's at the top of page 9. It shows all of those
Mhm.
different salaries there.
And then it shows it again on the
Yeah,
bottom of page
because-
11.
Because this is just the park. So this was organization wide.
Uh-huh.
This one is only for the park. That we're on.
Okay. Okay.
We still
Seven.
have 166,000 in unearned revenue.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yep.
So people that have paid between
Because we still have, the
October,
monthlies still go in there, because even though they pay for an extended stay for this whole month. It's as they stay, that gets brought out. You don't just pull out the
and
whole
this is
month.
October 31st, so
Mhm.
we have 166,000 of income. That'll more than likely come in.
It'll all keep
between-
coming over. It's just a revolving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many, okay, how many campsites are being used right now?
We have roughly 40. We are still getting people daily calling to come in and stay.
Yeah.
And not just, I mean, not just monthly people, nightly people,
That's awesome.
so.
Okay, sorry. I
No,
was
you're
on
okay.
page 13.
Oh.
Yep,
Well-
so page 13 is the balance sheet. Let's see, where are we at? Accounts receivable for October, that does include the billing for the city maintenance. We billed them late, so we have that in there still. And then for the tribe as well, and then it also includes the boat dock. So that is the accounts receivable up top. Accounts payable, that is some of the bills that came in right at the last set of checks. So we do have that still to pay. And then as Krista stated, we do have. Where did it go?
Unearned revenue.
Yeah, unearned revenue, there we go. 166,402 for the year. Next up is the budget to actual for the park. Now, this goes through the dates through last Wednesday, so it does include some of the expenditures for November. Which I noticed it didn't print the dates on it, so pages 14 and 15. So total resources that we have brought in so far this year. Yes. This does include our property tax. That's why it looks like $1 million. So if you look at line 4024,
Mhm.
it shows the property tax that we have brought in this fiscal year so far.
Okay,
Okay, so that's why it shows $1,082,532.94 for resources that have been brought in for the park. And then total requirements or expenditures on the bottom of page 15 is 452,251.98, which gives us a profit for the year of $630,280.96.
so we, we're on that darn. So on the overnight fees, we budgeted 550,000 and we've already brought in 241,823,
Yes,
but that's from July
through
1.
Wednesday last week. Yeah,
But it's not, that's where I get confused. It's actual,
Yeah,
like those are
that's
actual
actual,
funds.
yes, that's actual funds that we have brought in and has been earned. That is what will be recognized as revenue.
We got the rest till end of June to bring in the 308,000.
Yeah,
Decent, okay.
are there any questions on that? If not, we'll go on to the next 3 pages, pages 16 through 18. This is the checking account activity for the park. We had total deposits of 86,247.50, total disbursements of 85,508.31.
What's the $20,000 deposit? On page 17.
That would have been the wild horse grant. for the fall protection replacement for the campground. There's no other questions on that. Next up is the cash basis and the stats. So I will tell you the little note I put on here that says this number is skewed due to improper reservation input for long-term stays. The way some previous employees were putting in the long-term stays in the campground, it was going into a general sale, so it was not putting it on the grid and on the dashboard to be counted as occupancy. So that number is it is skewed, and I'm not sure exactly how off it is because of that.
And that was just for October?
October, yeah,
Okay.
once the campground went into my office, we got everything fixed, and so November will accurately report.
What are the deposits that are, oh, credit card? Is that what those are?
Yes, credit
Yeah.
card.
Gotcha. I just wondered why they were odd amounts.
So, but I was able to report to cash correctly for October. September's report still doesn't pull properly, but we did bring in 31,519 in cash for October. If there's no questions on that, next up is the pool. Total revenue this year so far for the pool is 116,462.08. Total expenditures for the pool, 250,173.20. So that brings the pool in at a net loss of 133,711.12.
And this month we were $32,000 loss. Is that what I'm reading?
Yes, that for October, yeah. Are there any questions on that one?
On the janitor contract labor,
Yes,
is that 18,000 for that month?
yeah. No, that would be for the whole year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that
I'm looking
second
for that
column is
column.
for the whole
Alright.
fiscal year, so it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
There's no more questions on that. Page 22 is the balance sheet for the pool. That is, I believe, for rentals. I will have to double check what the accounts receivable is on the pool. I can't recall right this minute. But there is $5,423. Never mind, I remember. Boardman Food sponsorship, they still owe 5,000. It's their last year for their corporate sponsorship for the multi-purpose room, and then the 423 was for FFA use of the rec center. That's what that is. And then accounts receivable or accounts payable. These were bills that came in after I cut the last checks, so we will have those to pay. There is still unearned revenue for memberships of 31,528.37 for this year.
Wait, what?
On the pool, unearned revenue for memberships. 31,528.37. Second column, 2/3 of the way down the page. On page 22.
Yeah, how come it's not the 79? Aren't we in the current year?
Oh, yes. sorry.
Okay.
It would be the same.
Okay. That's okay, so 79,000, and that's for,
Memberships that have been bought but haven't been actually fully
Yeah.
used.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a big jump from last year's. Memberships.
That's good, I mean.
Yeah.
I guess we're fully out of COVID. Okay.
So next up would be the budget to actual for the pool. Again, this is through last week, Wednesday, last week. Total resources, $157,082.02. Total expenditures, $289,540.97. So brings us in at a loss of $133,6540 for the year.
Where's the grant money?
That would be,
Other grant income?
Did we put any of it under the pool?
not in this fiscal year. That was in last fiscal year. Because the pool, all the summer rec went underneath the park for this fiscal year.
The money for Good Shepherd for the deck refinishing should be under the pool though, correct?
And that one is. Find it. I think I got quoted under donations miscellaneous. I'll have to look into that one.
I was wondering about that because that was what I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you
I think
next.
that's
is
where it got put.
Where we got $10,000 worth of donations.
We begged.
We should be writing a lot of thank you notes.
Yeah, I think that's where it got put. I'll have to double check that one.
You're thinking that.
And reclass, yeah, and reclass that. There's no other questions on that. Next 4 pages is the bank account activity for the pool. Total deposits, $18,674.71. Total disbursements, $45,035.32.
So we're transferring from the pool to the park.
Transfer from the pool to the parks
We're on pool right now, right?
page. Yeah, what-
26 and 25. There's a transfer.
That is for payroll taxes. When I pay the payroll taxes, I have to pay it all out of the pool account, or out of the park bank account, so I have to transfer it from the pool
Okay.
to the park with the way our budget is right now.
Okay,
So 29 and 30 are the stats. 29 is for last fiscal year. So. Last fiscal year in October, we had 2522. This year we had 2879. So 350 or so extra scans. That is an increase. Are there any other questions?
you may want to make a motion to approve the financial.
Let's see.
Oh,
So when I'm like, just to go back, so I just want to emphasize, so right now, if we're combined as a group for $70,000 $70,535.47 loss. That's a park and
Yeah, at the end of October.
that's scary already
For the whole organization.
for the whole organization.
What were we last year for the whole organization?
Do we
Do you remember?
have it for the, yeah,
I think it's on there.
I must have looked, that stood out for me, that's
Were
why.
we doing the organization?
We were not, but this is set up to show us that,
Oh, okay.
so.
We
The
paid,
prior year current we're 72
yeah,
loss, so, okay.
Well, no, it would have been a
80
profit. It would have been $79,000 profit at that time.
Hmm.
See, where is it? I'm sorry.
What page are we on?
We go back to
10.
page 10.
Okay.
10. Our administration's up 20,000,
Yeah,
Yeah, cause
but other than that, where are we off?
Well, the revenue itself is down. But I think that is due in large part to grants. I'm just looking,
How can our state unemployment be 15,000 for current
because they
48.
raised our rate,
by triple? Like-
yeah.
Field personnel is up 30,000. State unemployment's up 10,000.
yeah. Seems like a big number, but again, I don't know.
It is, I think it'll be interesting to see January's, that'll put us at our halfway mark.
Right, no, yeah, no, I know, I'm
Yeah,
sure there's
all
other
the
things that are coming
taxes
in, all that
will be
stuff, and
Once the property taxes go in, it changes the dynamic a lot
Yeah.
on it.
last year was just a blur, it was like. It was a lot of information.
Yeah,
last
it
year.
was-
Water and sewer went up. They raised the rates on the water and sewer this year.
The rates haven't really changed, it's the consumption.
Okay.
It's our consumption.
Okay,
Walking. Electricity and the natural gas have gone up tremendously.
Shop went up about $8,000. Just nickel and diming is adding up right now, I mean, plus the big jumps.
it's okay, yeah, it's.
Why do we have interest revenue this year, sorry, John,
fine.
17,498, and we had 4303 last year. It's on page 8. Under other revenue, interest revenue,
That's the LGIP revenue. That's the interest from them.
how'd we get so much more interest? Did we have a lot of money?
We had a lot more money. We've taken out a lot of money this year out of the LGIP.
But it was in there to begin with for us to have the interest on it,
Right.
right? Versus the year prior, we just didn't have as much money in there then, right, from, would have been July through October of last year,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. We just had more money sitting in there between July and
Longer.
October of this
Yeah.
year. Okay. All right. Gotcha. That's a lot of interest. Except for some of those electricity bills.
Move we accept the financials as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I-
Aye. Yeah, well, business district policy update. So how many of these do we have? Because one was handed out
There's
just as we got here,
5 total policies.
okay? So,
I'm not sure which one she wants to talk about first.
so here, I'm gonna start out here, hold on. We have 5 total, of
Yes.
which, how many were handed out
Two.
tonight?
2 were in the packet, and then there's 3 more that were handed to you tonight.
Uh. All right, well, all right, board, are you willing to read through all of those and make decisions on those now, or are you wanting to
Yes.
table any of these since they were handed out tonight?
Let's talk about the ones that.
That are in the
Yes.
packet first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the update and additions, vacation time and management leave policies. I need to read through it here, hold on.
so what's different is what I need to know.
A lot of it actually, the
Yeah, I
fact
wanna
it's the
compare.
way it's being accrued, it's not based on the class of employee, it's straight across for all full-time employees. And then it also has a section in there where the part-time employees can earn,
Use.
and then, it does not make it a use it or lose it anymore. There's a maximum accrual amount. It's a completely different, but it aligns with what the city is doing.
So. It wasn't that long ago that we updated all of this in our book.
Correct.
Okay,
So this is a different update than what,
It's
You guys
basically a
updated?
rewrite of the policy. Rebecca's the one that wrote it. So she would have more information as the backup on that.
and what's the deal with them, are we removing the use it or lose it?
Yes,
So, but then we have to worry about. Keeping those funds around if someone ceases to work. Like, we have to store that and we have to bank it.
Right.
And I think that's why we decided not to do that in the first place. Here's the deal, if we're gonna have 5 of these, I feel like we need a workshop on this.
it's a lot, it's a lot.
But you guys go ahead, if you want, I'm not gonna approve something that we haven't discussed, I guess, in further detail than what we have for a meeting. But that's just me, you guys.
Well, I was looking at this as, okay, here they are. Look through them and, I mean, I do think we need it's a lot we all have to talk about it and agree.
Cause I guess what I would wanna hear, what I would wanna see is what we have already established
Mhm.
and the effect of what we're trying to implement.
Okay.
Cause I don't even have our handbook in front of me to know what,
what's already in.
Yeah.
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would wanna see that, and I think that's gonna take a little bit more time than what we have tonight.
So for
Um,
tonight, would it make sense? There's one that was from today. It's literally just adding one sentence into our handbook to keep up to date with Oregon's new laws. And then the one that's on the background check.
Okay, so are you talking
policy?
about the payroll deductions policy?
Correct.
Okay,
Oh,
That is adding one line because it's the new tax required by Oregon. And so we don't have a choice about paying the tax, but we
Right.
need to add a line in our employee handbook that says that we are taking that tax out for them.
that makes sense. add a bullet point under Oregon State Transit Tax. And above court ordered child support payments or garnished to list paid leave Oregon tax.
That's law.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
so, but does it, are we just in the handbook,
So-
are we
yes.
disclosing how
In the-
much, or are we
No.
just gonna say in
it just
accordance with
says that
whatever it
we
is?
have to pull
Abide by it.
these certain taxes.
Yeah,
out. That's
okay.
all it states.
Okay, all right, that one I'm good with. And then what was the other one, Rebecca?
The background check policy that we've
Okay.
discussed kind of off ongoing each month.
Okay,
But then the
so-
other ones leave to have like a workshop on.
Okay, so,
Where's that at?
That's the big
so yeah,
one.
let's set
In the
the
Oh,
vacation
yeah.
time and management leave policy aside just for a moment, then that's page 31 and 32. And we're looking at the background check and reference check policies as per the current plan of following corresponding will be inserted on page 6. Is this lining up with what you had emailed us?
Yes, that is correct.
Did you guys have a chance to look at that? By the way, the email that she had sent out?
I
Um,
opened it, I just didn't have time.
it
to read
was-
that.
George looked at it and I looked at it, I know. What I was looking for is the district shall provide notification of. Okay, perfect. And so this appendix is the same one that was emailed?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is written based off of Ben Park and Recreation District's policies and the guidelines that they have been using. I've also sent it to SDAO. Monica, the HR manager, she is looking over it to make sure that everything's still in line with what's legal in the state of Oregon. But because of the holiday, she hasn't been able to get back to me quite yet, but she did start looking over it today.
Okay, my only question is on the appeals part of it,
Uh-huh.
okay? So an employee gets notified that we're not gonna hire them because of what we find on the thing, then they got 5 days to appeal that. And then the district manager has 10 working days to respond. Is that how I'm reading this?
Yes.
I
I,
don't,
I,
go
sorry.
ahead. No, you go
They
ahead.
have 5 days to file an appeal and then set up a time to meet, and then 10 days after that meeting to provide them with a written response.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that.
So the only thing I didn't like about that last paragraph is that it says designated or assigned
Assigned.
designee, and that's really open-ended.
Okay,
I mean, if you're gone, then on vacation, for instance.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I'd rather see that be either we need to leave it at district manager or designate a particular person, I should say, because otherwise that could go. I don't know who they would even go, who that is.
okay.
I mean, who is the designated assignee in her absence when she's on vacation?
Currently, we have not revised that section of the handbook yet. Because previously it was the district manager to the recreation facilities manager.
Right,
It's not the same structure.
right. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Where is it in here that says, are we able to background check the current employees?
that was something that we had discussed, where we've changed it a couple times. Under frequency of checks to continuously uphold the high standard of acceptable conduct in the workplace, criminal history records checks shall be conducted if there is a reasonable suspicion that an employee has been involved in a crime.
To me, I'm going, well.
Right?
This is a lot.
How do we determine that?
Yeah,
I know,
Like, that's what,
how
that
do you
is
get, how do you get to reasonable suspicion?
yeah, I mean.
You don't,
you-
it
you
just comes
don't,
out in the background check. And then if it doesn't, then,
Don't know, we're talking about current employees.
oh.
Yeah, and I want our current employees to be able to be.
Yeah, I don't think
subject
you
to that.
can though.
We can't now?
Good grandfather them, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. Not unless they like stop working and they come back.
Right,
which
right, it
that
says
has
that,
there.
it says there,
I don't know if we could do, I don't know if we can do that.
okay.
And that's something I can ask Monica.
I mean, not that we're gonna go background check everybody, but, okay, well,
Well, I guess maybe we need to ask Monica that because. Yeah, we need to ask it just in terms of if it's their rights as workers, like if they've already been hired under the assumption that they're cleared. And I don't wanna make the assumption that we have people that we've hired that are not meeting the standard of it, like to be hired, like in the future, like. I don't know.
I mean, cause we
So-
did like them,
say that last line again.
I don't wanna make the assumption that like. When if we background check everybody, like
Mhm.
right now, you're making the assumption that somebody's guilty in some aspects, like of something. And I'm not saying they're not, but I mean, it could come up, but
I guess I'm thinking of it in reverse. If we have people working for our district that are working with children, then why wouldn't we want to be?
Yeah. So let me
We
read,
knowledge
So
of who
one-
they are?
that was something that was changed after Shelby and I had discussed it. So Ben's policy actually states to continuously uphold the high standard of acceptable conduct in the workplace, criminal history records checks shall be conducted annually on all current employees or when the district deems necessary. But we didn't feel that we would be doing a criminal history records check every year. So we didn't want to state that unless we truly were going to follow through with that.
Well, it says or deemed necessary.
yeah. So on here, I don't see anything that, like, where's, what I'm trying to say, like any kind of criminal act towards children,
maybe talking about like what they're.
like
On the appendix?
abuse,
Oh.
yeah.
I thought it was here.
Is it?
Uh,
Okay, I can't see it.
Well, we need to pin this anyways until we get the.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you want her to take back to? Who is it you're
Monica.
counseling with?
Monica,
Where?
SDAO.
So like, how do you, gosh, I can't even talk.
What's the background check cost?
depends on what type you're doing.
Cause see, like, I don't
Background
want,
check. This, that we fulfill this.
Well, that's just a simple one. They would just do the OSP.
yeah,
So what?
$75.
$75, and how many employees we got?
But,
And we have
So, like-
35.
oh, but here's the thing. The,
crimes against children,
yeah, they're back there in the 163,
isn't it?
or let's see, yeah, there should be 163, yeah, 163,545. You'll get into child neglect and all that kind of stuff. Endangering the welfare.
And then like any domestic violence within the last 5 years, like I wanna see that in here, cause that's,
That'd be like an assault.
okay,
Your assault force or domestic violence.
okay.
$75?
I think that's what OSP charges right now to do their background checks. Yeah, do that.
And you said we have 35 employees?
Yeah.
31, 25. No less.
$600.
Oh, then here's other potentially.
2600.
disqualifying.
26.
Let me double check my math.
I just guesstimated at 25.
$75,000.
That's a small sum to make sure that
Yeah,
we got people that should be working with our kids, working with our kids.
yeah, I didn't,
I mean,
think-
that's our biggest.
I didn't think legally we could check ones that have already been hired.
So yeah, if we just.
That
check
would be the
But
question.
so
yeah.
that's a question you need to
Check
ask,
that to
okay,
see if we
Rebecca.
can do that with the people that have already been hired. And then I could live with that, that's fine.
Yeah.
So basically the language that you had in the bend. The bend policy about the frequency of the checks that you removed.
That
If,
they shall be conducted annually on all employees or when the district deems necessary.
yes, it does say or, right?
Yes.
Or when, oh yeah.
Or when,
Mhm.
Cause I
yeah,
wouldn't think if you passed the background check this year. We could do it, but we probably wouldn't want to continue to do it on people unless we
Right.
had reason to believe.
Right.
That person
Exactly.
screwed up.
right.
So,
So-
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
put
I
it in
don't-
the chat for you, Shelby.
Because they. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there's a crime against a kid, well, then it's only a sexual crime that they become mandatory. Report to the
Mandatory
community,
reports. I mean, mandatory.
mandatory, everybody needs to know they're under town.
Yeah.
Or your neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah, so I think the board is wanting you to check with Monica to make sure that the redacted. Language from the bend policy is still something that we could have in our policy. Because the board would possibly want to add that back in,
Okay,
if that makes sense.
not a problem. I can ask her.
What did she type in there?
She typed the verbiage.
Oh, okay.
Nice, good work.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like how it says 5-year review.
5, 10 and lifetime.
Mm,
Define cheating under 167.167. Just kidding.
Where are you looking at?
Which
What
one,
pages
sir?
are you guys at?
Stuff.
Just making a joke.
Oh my gosh,
On
I didn't
page
even go this
41.
far.
It says that it's a potentially disqualifying crime. Says cheating. I don't know what cheating is.
Making your taxes.
Under Oregon statutes. I didn't even know we had a cheating statute. The whole town would be convicted. All right.
Well, at least some that left.
Oh, my ex-husband would be. All right. So let's go past all of, how many pages do we go down there?
You go clear to 49,
Oh my
but if
God.
you're gonna pass the additions one, we need a vote.
Right,
Yeah,
no,
motion.
I'll get there. So back on, background check and reference check policy. So the two things were checking about the additional language, and then what was the first thing we were?
Asking if it's legal
Yeah.
to background check current employees.
Okay, and then what else? There was something, oh, just that it was in review anyway by
Yes.
Monica, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Shelby, if you could put that as being tabled
Mhm.
to January.
Okay.
Okay, because we don't have a December meeting. So this particular policy we are taking.
It has nothing to do with that.
Oh, well,
Damn, cheap.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know, gambling. All right,
I'm guilty.
this is,
'Cause I wanna win every time. I
Wow.
Okay.
won the lottery. So I haven't cheated.
okay, I missed page something here, 31 and 32. We're back to, oh yeah, vacation time and management leave policy. The board, are you wanting to? Because this kind of runs along with the sick leave policy and the district holiday policy. So are we,
We're gonna table all that and get a workshop.
yeah, I think we do too. So,
I think the only one we need to actually make a
right,
fun of that
For
one.
the
Everything
first
else I
one.
think we need to.
David,
talk
are
about.
you okay with that as well? So basically,
I want to have another meeting.
yeah. you
Came here
do.
tonight to have another meeting.
I know you did, I'm sorry.
How much you love it.
So the
I'm
other,
available from December 17th to June, my next meeting, June 10th. Except for the 25th, I better take Christmas off with my wife.
so vacation time, district holiday policies and the sick leave policies, I think we're gonna end up tabling that. Is there just so that, you know, I'm throwing out this holiday one because we are coming into the holidays. What, Rebecca, tell me what you're doing here with the holiday one. What are we changing?
The holiday one is to bring us in alignment with the other agencies that we're serving, and they're serving us with the school district as well as the city, and being more in alignment with that. Right now, for example, we have Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve off, and those aren't typical holidays. But for example, we are trying to have programming on Juneteenth, but it is now a recognized holiday, and our service providers to run our own programs aren't even open. So we aren't able to be as effective as we could be. So as well, during the school year, when employees have days off, or sorry, the kids have the day off, but the parents don't because it's a holiday and we don't recognize it. It doesn't allow them to take care of their children, and it would be nice to be supportive of employees and have it be in line with the other people in the area as well.
Okay, so on page 2, where it lists out our holidays here, what,
So,
are we adding to this list? Or obviously Juneteenth is added. Are we adding, other than Juneteenth, are we adding any full holidays?
Let me bring it up, sorry.
Right, I don't have our current
Thanksgiving.
the
handbook.
day
Yeah.
after Thanksgiving.
Those are, so the ones that
So
we're at,
currently we have the ones that are being deleted would be the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Those two are taken off. And then MLK, Veterans Day, and Juneteenth were the holidays that were added.
and President's Day.
Okay, so President's Day.
MLK.
Juneteenth and Emma. I don't agree with the Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'm
So
not,
we're closing down at
I'm not-
4 on those days.
yeah, and I don't think 4 is soon enough. So,
Yeah,
so hold on. So, MLK, President's Day, and what else?
President,
was added?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Oh, and we, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think,
Okay.
where were we? Where was it? I don't know. There was one day where everything was closed. And the rec center was closed and everybody's home. It's like, oh, now what do we do? The rec center's
Right,
closed.
that's what I mean.
So
we're a
it's
rec
kinda
center,
like-
You got
so we
24 hours,
should be open.
you can go down there.
So what, are the schools closed on?
I just didn't
MLK?
like that.
They are, aren't they?
So, yeah, and I feel like the rec center should be open just for all those kids that. If
Yeah, I
they
mean,
do
I-
wanna go,
I hear what you're saying, because you're
About the
trying to put in
babysitters.
alignment with the
Darn right.
city and the banks, the federal holidays, but I kind of agree with Norma on that, and
So the starred ones are the only ones that the rec center would be closed. All the rest of them,
Oh, I'm
the rec
sorry.
center is open, but we
Well-
pay overtime rates to employees that work on those holidays.
okay,
That's what those stars are.
okay, thank you for,
okay,
Clarifying
so
that, I
we
wasn't
would be
thinking about
open
that.
Martin Luther King, President's Day and Juneteenth, or wait,
Juneteenth would be closed.
yeah, I don't.
you'll-
I mean,
well,
I don't feel like we should. I feel like
Well,
we could
last-
pay for it. Well, we can pay for it, right?
It's
So,
because last,
President's Day and MLK.
it's
in
because
the
last
middle
year
of
during the summer program,
Uh,
the school district was closed, so we weren't able to get food to serve.
I think.
Well, I just say we
And
don't
we
have,
also had a hard time with busing.
I think we just don't have fantastic kids that day.
yeah, just no
Yeah.
fantastic kids. Keep
Yeah.
The rec center open.
Yeah,
And
and that way that'll give those
Yeah,
kids
I
a
don't-
chance to go to the rec center.
I don't
Let's just,
think
let's
the rec
pin this in a workshop. Okay.
well, with the exception, oh, right now, though. Okay, the reason why I was not wanting to pend it, I just want to make sure that our employees have Christmas Eve
Yes,
and Christmas Day
correct,
Mhm,
and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day right now.
yes.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay, can I recommend, I mean, Rebecca, that right now it's still your call, but I would close sooner on those eves, those 2 eves.
But don't
No,
they
they're-
have- they wanna get off early.
Right now,
Oh, yeah, right, they're off, they're good, okay,
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
yeah,
she
That's
would be
fine.
working them more
yeah,
by changing it. but she
Slave
could
driver.
do that Time and a half on a lot of other days that
yeah,
they'd be working.
yeah.
basically. Okay, so, yeah. Okay. Table, are you guys okay with that? I should ask
Yes.
instead of.
Yeah, I'd like more time.
Yes.
to process it.
Okay.
Do we have a date in mind for a workshop?
Okay,
So I can rotate it.
so
Workshop.
we're gonna table to a workshop, we're gonna move this to
Okay.
January.
Did we vote on that
Hold
one?
on a sec, hold on a sec.
Yeah, let's-
On the sick leave. I haven't looked at that. What's the difference you got here, Rebecca?
Right now, so the state of Oregon, how they define the distribution of sick leave, it's 1 hour per every 30 hours worked. This was to come in alignment with what the city offers, which is 8 hours, 8 hours per month. The ability to not wait 6 months if you're newly hired. And a way for Shelby to be able to calculate sick leave that is given to part-time employees. Right now, for every single employee, so say in the summer when there's 50+ employees, she has to manually calculate how much sick leave time to issue to each person. So this would provide increments and make her job easier as well.
Right. So we'll talk about that. I just want to know what the difference was before we I wanted to hear it.
Yeah, when we go to the, when we
Workshop.
get that workshop going, we'll wanna see the comparison, like we'll
Yeah,
want our
You wanna
book.
see what? we
Yeah,
have.
and I wanna know financial impacts,
yeah.
if we have any.
Okay.
Because if we're paying time and a half on some of these things, that's gonna make a
It's gonna be
difference.
more.
Yeah. Okay, so we are tabling the district holiday policies, the vacation time management leave policies, and the sick leave policies. Are you guys in agreement with January?
What day?
Oh, she needs a day?
Yeah, right, you wanted a day?
It'd be helpful, that way I can remind you guys.
Could we just do it at 5 before,
Mm-hmm. Just pick a day.
no, like 5
Before the
before
meeting?
the meeting,
Oh, yeah, we could.
like.
Yeah, do you think an hour is enough?
I don't feel like it. Cause we're going through all the other ones, right?
Just
Or
the
just,
three.
just. the
I
three?
just said for me personally, and this is me personally, like January's like
It's gonna,
super busy with
I know,
basketball, it's
I
nuts.
know.
Yeah, me
fall
too.
wrestling.
Well, let's try it, okay? It doesn't mean we have to make a decision right at that moment. So
So
let's,
what-
let's try for 5 o'clock
Okay.
on the next board meeting in
23rd?
January.
24th, I believe.
Oh.
January 5 PM. You will definitely have to like highlight that, red code it when you send it to us.
So I'm gonna move that we accept the proposal for the update to payroll deduction policy. As it was presented.
And
Change.
just include it all and table. Oh, we don't have to, never mind.
No,
You're
those,
right.
yeah,
We're
those
just
are,
tabling.
just this one.
Okay, so just the one, George made a motion to approve the payroll deduction policy change in our handbook.
I second.
All in favor?
Right?
All opposed?
Oh, they hang those.
I'm an aye, yes.
Shelby, you have January 24th is our next meeting, correct? Is that about
Yes,
right?
let me-
Fourth Tuesday?
That's what
believe
it's on
so,
the
but
paper.
let me double
Your
check.
games, I think.
No, there's.
Oh, is that on the paper?
Well, not
Sorry.
basketball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is, that
Okay.
is the 24th.
so we're gonna put park meeting workshop 5 PM. Got it. Okay, thank you for that. Oh, the background checks. We actually have 4 to go over.
That's what I said.
This one we passed though, right? Okay. I'm gonna. There's
Oh
out.
my god.
There's the ones we need to look at. What are we on to now?
New business.
New business, resolution 2022-008, master fee schedule. What are we doing?
So this is the resolution to accept and approve and adopt the master fee schedule that is presented on pages 50 through 53.
And what are we approving?
It's the master fee schedule. This is a list of all the fees that the district currently charges for services, both in the campground and at the rec center.
Okay, and who put it together?
I did, and then I sent it to Rebecca for approval.
Okay. So you double check everything that we have on here is correct.
Yes.
The 30 days or more. Full refund less $5 reservation fee and $5 per night.
That's the cancellation fee that you guys approved.
Okay, and that covers our cost
So,
for, I mean, we're making sure that's as long as we're covering our costs and it's going on to the people. That's where it needs to be.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, with this new cancellation policy, we're gonna recoup a lot of revenue, because we have people that tend to wait until last minute and the policy that was in place before allowed people to call up to 2 days prior to cancel, and then they got a full refund.
Okay, so this
So-
outlines exactly what we approved in our previous meeting.
Yes,
Okay. And from what I remember, you guys said that you were going to be sending out these changes
Mhm.
with,
Sorry, that's my work phone going off.
with the new type of, or new reservation, like it's
Yes,
posted
and-
for people now, right?
Yes, yep, and that has all been sent out to them, so they
Okay,
know all of that.
so on here it has day pass for adults, $6 in district.
Yes, that is current, that is what it is.
I thought we were at $5.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The only real additions were that I had added were the damage to campground property by guest, cost of labor and parts plus 10%, because we previously did not have any method of charging them. As well, park damage due to special event use. We will be putting together a special event, essentially an application, so that we know what special events are happening in the park. If, for example, 4th of July, but just so we have an understanding. And if there's extensive damage, the cost of labor and parts plus 10% was what we put down to cover if there are expenses that we do incur, so that we have a way of recouping them.
Oh, I put my name on the pavilion. I didn't rent it, but nobody was there. And that was in July and it's still there.
It's all yours.
Right.
Go out, enjoy it.
Where's the pavilion?
The little one right here by the.
Oh,
boat
we don't
dock.
rent those are first come, first served.
Yeah, I put my
Yeah.
name on it.
Oh, sheesh.
So nobody could show up,
She's admitting.
cause I came
guilt.
first. But it's still there. My name is still there.
Why did you erase it when you left?
I forgot about it. And Jared took a picture.
So
and sent
basically
it.
with the creation of the
That's
couple
what you-
membership annual in district. We're giving a discount of $156 to 2 people versus like anybody else that has children past that. Then gets the rest of their family for $156.
Which one are you looking at?
The. family
Page
membership thing.
52. A couple annual, $600.
Yeah,
Family is $756.
Oh,
So they basically add the rest of their family for $156. If they go with a family membership, because they have any children involved.
Yes, the couple membership is for 2 adults that are 18 or older.
21 or older. Oh,
So-
hold on.
it
Says
says
18.
It's
18.
18.
So a couple's defined as 2 adults, 18 or older. And then on the other, the family membership,
It's because the youth memberships go up to. If they're in a family, the way the rec center policies were originally written, that the kids can be on there up until they're 21.
If they still live at her house, right?
Yes, yes.
So let's say Yesterday still lived at
So-
my house, she can still be as my family member.
so if I have 4 adults living in my house,
They're couples.
On page 52, right above classes and courses, the employees receive a free adult membership. That verbiage is new, and that was intended for employee retention and for their families to be able to take part in that, because many of them, they are paying for their families as well. But that's just to be transparent, that was not there.
Yeah, so like that's a perk of working here. You
Yeah.
get free membership.
Yeah, right now, it's just the employee only.
Mhm.
So all the employees are paying the add-on of $26 a month for their family. So Rebecca added it that after they've completed 6 months of employment, they would get the family actually free.
yeah,
Okay, because, yeah, well, how many employees do we have?
35.
Yeah, full time. Yeah, full time. And then you get their friends to come. The friends have to pay.
All right. We'd have to have a motion. What else is new in this,
We just don't have prices for the.
other than what
concessions.
you guys have already said? Is that it?
That would be it.
And we don't have prices for the goggles and
The,
towels and yoga mats.
the concession stand items, we put on there, it varies based on cost and availability of the product.
Okay,
So we did put that in there.
I'll move that we adopt these new fees, this new fee sheet.
I need you to state the resolution, pretty please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Resolution number 2022-008.
I'll
Do we have-
second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I just need the original from Shelby.
Yep.
I'm gonna pass it around.
Get a
We all.
Oh,
sign it.
shoot.
Yep.
I guess.
All right, we are at 7:20, so let's move into our district. Wait, I gotta go back. That's George, I think, that needs to talk. George, we were on a trespassing policy.
Okay, so it came to my attention that, we got, last year before this time, about 3 months ago, and a year, right at the end of our meeting, we find out that we have a fight that took place with a former employees and a current employee. It's gone through the legal system, and now the former employee wants to go use our facility. She was trespassed. At the time, she got trespassed from coming to our any of our properties. She's asking to have that trespass removed. So she used facilities at the rec center. And so the trespassing, I'm not sure, you checked on it.
Mhm.
Is it a lifetime?
It is a lifetime.
Okay. And so, and to me, I got no problem keeping, I mean, someone beats up one of our employees. I'm
With the
cold.
bats.
Yeah, I mean. I'm going, I got no problem keeping them banned for life. I mean, that's a consequence that
Has the person brought this to the board, or did they only bring it to you?
they didn't even, they came
Oh.
to Keiko. Keiko took it to
Rebecca,
Rebecca, and Rebecca and I talked,
okay,
okay? And I said, well, I'm gonna bring that to the board. Because, I mean, any kind of trespass, people get trespassed here, you know, for
For little things.
little stuff like littering and stuff like that, and they'll get trespassed, you get trespassed for life. You know, we don't want you here, you know? And I get that.
mhm. It kind of goes back to Norma talking about
Child.
duties. That they're, you know, that we. I mean,
She can't come to our facilities, but how long could she not be working for? 5 years on the assault?
Yeah. And it should be,
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I-
So she can apply for a job in 5 years, but can't come to our facilities in 5 years. So I mean,
that's what I mean, there has to be a,
kids get in fights all the time. You shouldn't pay for it for the rest of your life because you got in a fight when you're 18 or 17 or 20 or whatever. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be a consequence, but at what point do we say, okay, you've learned your lesson? Because that's what we do as our society, is we give people second chances. I'm okay with a longer than 1 year, but I'm not okay with a lifetime. That's just my 2 cents. If you guys disagree, I'll be happy to vote no when you say yes. I mean, because I don't think we always have to agree, but that's just my thought process. You shouldn't, I mean, now, if she murdered somebody, well, then it's story.
and it's
You
a
know.
different thing. She used a assault. She used a deadly weapon. It wasn't just a fist fight. It was an assault with a deadly weapon. So that's the only difference, and that's my concern.
well, how does it fall under that new appendix that we're going to be reviewing in January? Maybe
Per-
that's something.
Per the appendix for background. Per the appendix for background checks, assault 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all permanently reviewed crimes. So a permanent ban.
And that would have been an aggravated, premeditated.
But this is if they're convicted,
That's if
correct?
they're convicted, yeah,
It's not necessarily if they're arrested for that. It's only if they're
Right.
convicted. And
right,
I don't know how we would be able to know if that person was convicted.
Court records,
Mm-hmm.
that's open.
they are. So was the person in question asking for a decision? Were they wanting to know something right away? 'Cause we may
Yes,
not
they
have-
are requesting to know if they can come. And my conversation with George was simply any guidance on how we should make this decision, or if we had a precedence in the past. To decide if someone can come back, or if he thought following the guidelines that we're gonna implement in some form for the background check, if we should follow those.
I personally feel like we should implement our policy first. And
Before,
then base our
Looking-
decision off of what's in that policy.
I wonder if there's any state precedent with trespassing.
Mhm.
I mean, we always seem to go to FDO, but I would ask them what their thought process is. Because I really wouldn't want to adopt something, whether it's my 2-year thing or your lifetime thing, and then end up in court.
Well, and is it,
I don't know enough about it.
Reach out, Rebecca, to your coworkers, I mean, your co-directors at the other, Bend and Redmond and all those. See, from their experience, what they've done.
And then is it
Okay.
both of the girls or just one of the girls? Cause I know one did go to jail.
look-
I'm pretty sure they
I'm
both went. to
looking-
jail.
I'm looking at it more holistically and not just this one instance. Like, I don't want to treat one person differently than another.
Exactly.
Just need to have a policy of how we're gonna deal with it. And like I said, like George said, talk to other people, ask them how they deal with it. And maybe run it by the SDAO council and see what they think. And then,
Yeah, one of the things we talked about was. Even though there's a lifetime trespass in place, that can get changed. At any time. Okay. If you decide, if you decide that you want to let her back on premises. Then you just, all that matters, we just notify dispatch and they take it off the record. As a, she's allowed to be on the property again.
We just need to be consistent, though.
Yeah, yep. So I think after we make our recommendations on. Our background check, that will help tie in with this in a sense. But like I said, you steal from the store,
You're done.
you're done, it's a lifetime, and they're not. They're solid, you're not stealing from us, and you're done. You're not shopping in our store.
Yeah, I got 86 from Sinclair. Hey, I know
Okay.
like the manager.
So,
we got more than 5 years ago.
Well, I know I went to put gas and they were not allowed to put gas in my car. I'm serious. But that was like 20 years ago, so I'm good now.
So that's for not, right now, I would recommend.
I would just leave it.
Not tell her, yeah, just wait.
I think the appropriate answer would be to say that the board's reviewing our policy booklet and that we're gonna be meeting in January and that,
January.
and that we'll get some more information and try to get back.
So did they
Sure.
come into the rec center and ask you, Tango?
Sorry, no, actually Brenda called me. I think what happened is she probably called the marina number. And
Go.
said,
Nico,
Yes.
we can't use names.
oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know these rules. Sorry, the person, I apologize. That was not a good situation. Sorry. Yes, she called.
Okay.
That's why I don't come to these. Okay, I'm just gonna be quiet now.
So, so yeah, I mean, Rebecca, you have a good point that it's on the permanently reviewed crimes on page 44 for assault, if that was something that somebody was convicted of. They would, we would have to check that because it is, like George said, that is public record. But that is something we will. How about you bring that up again, Kate? Put that on put the trespassing. I don't even know if it's on this list anywhere, but bring up the trespassing, word with Monica as well to see what she thinks about that and then let's review that in our workshop, okay? If somebody can make note of that, I don't want to forget that. It's kind of important. Not kind of, it is
Okay.
important. Cause I'm half tempted to, I don't know. I'd be curious to know if there's more to it than just trespassing or if there were any criminal charges that were ever found guilty of, but I kind of agree with David, like that if we can forgive people for 10 years on some of these other things, then it might be something that we're gonna put 5 or 10 year bans on, but not necessarily like forever and ever and ever and ever. So you're literally losing your teeth. So thank you, George.
Trespass is not on that one.
It's not,
I couldn't
didn't
find
Oh,
it.
there it
hear
is,
it.
criminal trespass one. is.
Criminal.
Criminal
What
trespass and
page?
possession of firearm.
What page?
Page 40, 164, 255, and 245 is the other one, but it's.
So that's under a 10-year.
But that wasn't something that was charged.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
It's just a park.
It was just something that after the incident happened.
Yeah,
it
the
was-
park
yeah.
said this is,
This is what we want. We don't
Right.
want that person back.
right,
Yeah.
right. So that's definitely a district policy, right? That we would want to,
It would be a past
Review.
precedent,
yeah,
past practice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what I was getting at is that if criminally you're found guilty of trespassing.
Right.
And it's
Mhm.
reviewable after a certain amount of years, why wouldn't the park follow suit with something that's a criminal?
Right.
Something that was criminally filed.
Yeah.
We'd want to at least have some leeway in some of that, so that's my opinion though. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards David on that. Okay, back to the agenda. Did everybody read the manager's report?
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
For the January meeting, can we have that cost analysis for the Halloween, just so we know what we're
Mhm.
spending on that?
Yes, I can work with Shelby to pull that together.
I just want an idea of what we spent to see how we can. I love the event. I just don't want, if we're spending a lot of money on it, next year I want to lose less money on it.
Well, I think we would, because now we have all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, and maybe we can get some outside sponsorships and stuff. You know, somebody to sponsor it. I'm just looking at how we can cut our costs.
The only thing I see was just to see, I guess, are we talking about all the reports, right? Are we talking about all reports? On here,
District
just one.
manager one.
Just the district manager, okay.
We're just on the district manager. I just wanted to know if anybody had any questions on that. Other than, I swear, those phones,
Mhm.
we have purchased them as many times as we've updated that system over there, or more. I feel like we've updated our phones, I don't know how many times. Have we not? Or are we just always complaining about them?
There's always issues with them.
Okay,
Is
so
the
we haven't
problem.
necessarily updated them?
No, we
Okay.
haven't. So when we
Okay.
changed over from Mac Media and CenturyLink
Yeah,
over to Windwave and Vonage.
Right.
or
Yeah,
I guess it's Jive. We didn't actually upgrade the actual phone
Okay.
system.
Okay.
So we're still working with that.
okay,
and-
no worries
yeah.
then. I'm getting it confused with how many times we complain about the phones, so.
We're
Um,
trying, and I swear, we do answer the phones here.
Okay, if we don't have any questions about the district manager's report, does anybody have any questions moving on to the recreation facility report? Does anybody have any questions on
I was
that?
just the quote, I didn't see the quote in here, there said there was a attached quote. There was attached quote for the treadmill.
Oh, for Columbia Fitness, or sorry, yeah, Columbia Fitness and the other fitness equipment that did not get included.
It didn't get included. I didn't realize they were supposed to. Sorry.
Do we have any
Yes.
verbals?
No, it's not that big of a deal, I mean, it would be nice to just have.
I
it
can
for the-
read them. Give me a second. I've got
Okay.
them.
Okay, while she's looking that up, does anybody have any questions about the maintenance manager's report?
Can I just make one comment about it? And the biggest point of that report, or biggest item is that we were able to get American Leak Detection to come out to assess if there's a leak with the pool, and it does detail that there is some issues and we will have to close the pool on several occasions to address them. And we still have to continue addressing the pool after some repairs are made so that we can accurately assess if it is leaking from the therapy pool as well.
Okay, let the board know by email if it's anything that's going to be extensive in cost. Okay? Like we have to have bids, right, for this work in parentheses or quotations, so let us know if if we're looking at something that's gonna, just so we know, okay? I don't
Yes,
wanna
that
pay
is correct.
$30,000 that we're not aware of. Okay, and did you find those figures?
I'm trying. They should be, they're in,
Well, my two
Take us
cents
in.
on it, if I was gonna ask the BCDA, I would ask for the commercial grade treadmill. Because the problem,
essentially,
the light commercial grade from Columbia Fitness are gonna break down and then they gotta come, it's just a cash cow for them. You better to buy this.
oh, I was gonna share my screen, but it's disabled. For advanced fitness solutions, it came in at 23,992, and that is
Four?
for what?
It's for 4 of them.
For 4 of them, and that is commercial grade, and it carries a full warranties on them. What it was the another company purchased them. They have less than 200 miles of usage on them. That was a high-end fitness facility, so they essentially got these for just a couple of weeks while they were waiting for their even higher standard equipment to arrive. And then the quote from Columbia Fitness was $22,592.88. And that is also for 4 treadmills, but those are just a mid lightweight like grade treadmill.
You broke
The
in
one,
6
the other
months.
ones,
I'd definitely go with the heavy duty ones when you're only talking $1,000 different.
Mhm.
And I don't think
Correct.
the BCDA, you can, that's an easy sell. You want the heavy duty ones or the light duty ones?
3,022,592.
and Takeo has reached out and has had a conversation with Tori.
Okay,
They've
good.
been in conversation off and on since prior to my being here. So,
I agree with David on that. The difference, I mean, we're talking.
Yeah.
$400. We would definitely want to go with those commercial grade. I just wanted to say, somebody tell Hannah kudos for organizing that volleyball tournament. That's a really nice gesture. So Takeo or somebody. Whoever's up there.
So on the adult volleyball league, I did notice that the people that were there taking time clock or doing roughing, I think in the beginners, they didn't have any refs, but there was people pulling the nets down while they served to make sure their ball went over. And nothing was said. There wasn't rules really being enforced.
Well, according to Hannah, who did the research and is called around, that is all self-regulating, and that's how all of these co-ed leagues go. It's not, and everyone was kind of warned of that and told that that's how it is. No other place around, at least that we've gotten a hold of, none of them had refs or anything like that. We added line judges at the time, which was just a couple of her staff. But I did talk to her about that because I had talked to Jared. So it was definitely something that we've got on there because she's going to continue it. They're going to have another season later on, I think in spring. So
I also would have liked to see a little bit more like advertising on them, like, you know, before season started, getting pictures of all the teams, that way they'd get recognition on there. Because I didn't see that anywhere on the Boardman Pool and Breck, so it's kind of like it never happened because nobody even saw it. So people that might want to join later didn't even know there was a team. So people would see that.
Right.
Oh, there was volley. Oh, we should do it. So.
Oh,
for-
I can have her do something too, because she did buy a plaque for the winners and stuff, and it is posted, like she put it up right inside the front doors of the rec. So maybe I'll have her do a post, kind of, I know she's got some pictures too, so, but yeah. I
Okay, yeah, 'cause
understand.
I didn't even know there was a beginners and a lot of people didn't know either. I don't know how, but I didn't register or anything, but
In addition,
that was also missed.
Yeah.
Like there was, like Myra's team, that could have been definitely not a beginners team.
Okay,
that's all there's to it.
So.
Keiko, did they hand out like a sheet with the general rules on it at the beginning of this?
yes, they did.
I guess the only reason I asked about whether they were paying to play is because if we're using our staff
Mhm.
to
Yep.
do line judging, then I just want to make sure we're not.
Yeah, it was $100 a
Going in a
team, and if they didn't have a team, they could sign up as an individual player. I think that was $15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay,
Now, they gotta be a member of the rec.
No. Mm-mm.
but they have to pay to come in?
No, that was covered, the registration fee. The registration fee is what they did, so that's what the $100, she didn't have them be members, I mean, most of them were members, but we didn't have them do both, no, those people still don't come in now to play volleyball.
So I guess that's what I mean about we're paying people to be line judges on something that we're barely even, we're not even making money on any of that, so just, I guess,
Yeah.
make sure that we're not overly using staff to facilitate volleyball rules.
Okay.
When they have sheets that were probably handed out saying that they can come up with their own rules.
Which they did.
All right, does anybody else have any other comments on the reports? Do we have any other business? Public comment, Norma, did you want to step away from your board position and ask whatever it is you wanted to
Oh, do I have to step away?
discuss? Huh?
Yeah, I'll step over here.
Okay, yeah, what, Norma, just for the record, Norma is excusing herself as a board member to speak publicly. Go
So-
ahead, Norma.
So there's basketball going on right now, and as much as I wanted my kids to play, especially Xander, he doesn't want to play basketball. So I realized there's nothing really going on with the kindergarten through third grade. I'm saying third grade because Xander's in third grade, even though there's basketball. So I want to do indoor soccer for kindergarten through third grade at Windy River. So I want to see if we can use the insurance from the park for that.
Wednesday and Thursday at Windy Road.
Wednesdays, probably, maybe Mondays, maybe not Mondays, but I'm thinking 1 day a week or 2 day a week.
Is little kids basketball in there on those days?
Nobody's in there. I talked to Shelby and she said nobody was in there right now because they're all using the rec center, but little kids won't start until March.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, the only grade that she's talking about that's going right now is
Third grade.
third grade
Can
for
I
the
step in
boys,
for that?
so.
I actually been trying to get indoor to go, but I can't get no one to be there to supervise. I can provide the insurance for you. I just got it Friday. And like I was telling you, your sister and Veronica
But-
were gonna do it.
So mine wouldn't require a supervisor because we have the staff janitor there, so he would be the supervisor for the building at that time. So it would be from 5:30.
I don't think that's, no, that wouldn't be accurate.
For me, they had, like, I do irrigate.
Really, that's what the lady, Barbara said that to me. Barbara at the district office.
No, because they
I can't
require
do it.
me to be there on site and I can't leave. I have people bringing me food.
But you're on a weekend.
Yeah, I am.
right?
I am off
Yeah.
on a weekend, I'm on a Sunday.
These would be
That's right.
really,
That's
Yeah,
not, that's
sure.
not correct.
Yeah, they wouldn't approve it from the facility. You would have to have somebody there. And an adult person would have to be there, a responsible person.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what the lady said. Well, that's what Barbara said yesterday when I called.
Yeah.
She said that the supervisor there at the school could be the janitor. And I-
Yeah, not just that, it's gotta have somebody in the
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
So if somebody gets hurt, you can get 911
You,
call.
you could be that person if you were like hosting a meeting.
Okay, well, I
But not-
do have somebody,
Let's-
that works at the school. She's gonna be the coach, so.
Yeah, that would work that way.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And this team would be made up of what grade?
Kindergarten and first graders would be split up, and then second and third
So
graders.
you're offering it just another sport time.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
it would be free for all kids, so it's just for kids to do something right now. I know we have the little dribblers and all that stuff that my kids do on Friday. That is really expensive. So a lot of, I don't know, Takeo, if you know how many kids are going to that.
I think right now she's got 13 signed up.
That's a Davis guy.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is
Lot of
like
good things.
$65 for the month, correct?
Yes.
We're charging $35 per kid.
It's like a camp or a skill.
Yeah, it's a 6-week, like a clinic, what he's calling it.
Yeah.
4 or 5 Friday.
Okay, so back to Norma's request. She's asking to be able to use the district insurance for her 1 day a week. Sports class for indoor soccer. Kindergarten through third grade with an adult supervising. During the time that they are using the activity.
I don't have a problem, but it sounds like Louise already has insurance.
Yeah, I'd have to, so, cause I'm not part of CYSC and Pirate FC, so I have to. use the
When
district.
CYSC,
But I could use it.
because you're not charging anything, are you?
No,
So
no. and it
wouldn't
only be
it seems to me like CYSC would be grateful to. Cause that's only gonna help their numbers and when they're signing people up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we wouldn't charge, it's just. I think it's just, the school requires to have some kind of insurance in case,
Mhm.
like last year, we broke a window, so our insurance covered the window that broke at Sam Boardman. That's pretty much all, it just has to be 1 million liability.
Mhm.
Like I say, I don't care if we do, I mean, I'm support either way, but if you got insurance already. It makes sense to align you two, and if you wanna align with us, I don't really care. One way or the other, but. We got lots of options here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, like, whatever's gonna work to get kids to do extra things if they're not doing anything. Great.
I like them out on the street, keeping George job security.
Okay, so,
Have we always provided insurance for other facilities, like for events to be, okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
we
I
need
used to
sports,
always
yeah.
just call Ted. I usually would just call Ted, hey, can I get your insurance? Do you guys know?
Well-
And he
Okay.
sent it over.
Well, it's kind of the model we, at least most of us. Want to be is that Parks and Rec kind of
Mhm.
consumes all of the kids' sports
Okay,
within.
so George,
Yeah,
yay or
and
nay?
it's sponsored by Parks and Rec.
Right.
Okay, so, oh. So are you gonna be part of that organization? That's what I get.
It doesn't matter. I can ask
Wait,
you
wait,
guys.
wait,
before-
The reason I ask that, I wanna make sure we're not. I don't want to just be, because here's the problem that's happened in the past. Mom and pops setting up their own team camps for their kids. Set up their team, setting up things. I'm gonna give you a good example
Me.
Without names.
without names. You get a parent that wants their kid's basketball team. They don't like what's going on, so they're gonna form their own team and then go play. I don't want it to just, when you said you're doing K.
Oh, they play like club, you mean?
And they're doing a club thing, but
Gotcha.
it's a parent. The parents
Gotcha.
aren't happy with how it's going, or the kid doesn't make the team, so we go form another team, and
Oh,
that's not what
no.
we're trying to do, and you're doing the right thing, it sounds like, because you're inviting all K through 3.
Yeah.
She's
And
not
that's what
exclusive.
that's the part
She's not
I'm happy with.
Excluding.
I'm in.
Okay, so no, I guess, yeah, to rephrase that then, so she's not charging, it's kindergarten through third grade, 1 day a week, and she's not excluding children
And she's not
applicants.
getting on top of current things we already have. She's getting sliding in on the day that the facilities are open.
Right,
Mhm. It'll be
Yeah,
5:30
still-
when junior high basketball is over.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
I'm in favor.
so David, yes or no?
And
Yes, John, yes,
Yep.
Krista, yes, and George, yes. All right, thank you, Norma.
Wait, so who
just
do I send?
quick question, so
Uh-huh.
going forward, do you want the youth sports to come to the board and ask for approval for the insurance, or?
I think we would want to know about it.
Okay,
I think,
Yeah.
that's the only reason I.
I'm gonna
asked,
say
because
this, I think you need,
President hasn't.
I think you need to know what the practice is for. If what I mean is, if you're going down to George's, what his example was.
Right.
Then the answer actually should be no to those people and say, hey, I need to ask that question. But if the thing is similar to what Norma just talked about, which is encompassing all student athletes.
Right.
Or whatever, student athletes,
Right.
that's what we would call them. Sorry, it's high school brain, then it's a no-brainer, yes, like it's not
Right,
even
right,
a have to
right.
say anything, like.
Yeah, cause
Right.
before I've never,
Right.
think- I would just call Ted and
Well,
Ted be like,
yeah.
yeah, sure.
We did a lot of like, hey, good job, you know what I mean?
But yes,
Yep.
I agree because of the example he gave. we
Right,
would-
no, and
we
that
would
makes
know.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So do I give, are you guys giving her the insurance or do I give it to her?
I'll take this one just so I can put on the Pirate FD. It's sponsored by the Parks and Rec. That way it looks
Okay.
like
perfect.
we're, you know,
Awesome.
If you
supporting.
can email me your information. I can.
I'll bring
send-
a page, the
That's fine.
paper.
Yeah, I can send it off to.
Yeah, that
insurance
way,
tomorrow and get that for you.
Okay.
that way we're everywhere.
Any other business? If not, I would, we're gonna temporarily adjourn. I do need. We're gonna adjourn with section, number 13 to go into executive session. But I do need, Rebecca online and I need Shelby to excuse yourself, but I do want you to come back to
Okay,
make sure you wind up the meeting, unless you want me just to text you and let you know what time we adjourned. Is that what you?
I think that we should.
Okay, so I'll
fine.
just text you. and
That
let
way you
know.
don't have.
yeah,
So, but you have to kick everybody else off.
right, and then turn off the recording.
Yes.
So I move that we temporarily adjourn from our public meeting
7:52.
at 7:52.
7:52.
Okay. Where's the-
Oh, I have to do that stupid.
Norma,